Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the final best of one of the night. We're sticking with the only two undefeated teams remaining. I'm Crow. I'm still being joined by the wonderful Jayswills, and we're going to bring you Project Neo versus Didn't Ask after 5 games, now on our sixth. These are the only two teams that remain without a loss.
Well, Crow, I know this may shock you to hear, but after this one of them will have a loss. One of these teams
Indeed.
will not be able to be undefeated. But let's head right on into it. We've been waiting 1 hour for this game. We don't have to wait any longer. This one's going to unfold on Consulate. It may look like a familiar map, and that would also not be much of a surprise. Project Neo just destroyed Synthetic on this very map. Unless Didn't Ask is completely unaware of that, they are likely gonna have their work cut out for them here as well. Project Neo showed how powerful they were on this map. Didn't Ask, they've got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, this is certainly going to be interesting. Project Neo looked absolutely on freaking fire in their game against Synthetic. So like you said, I think this is definitely going to be an uphill battle for Didn't Ask, but Didn't Ask is also a bit of an unknown quantity for me as well as Neo, I believe. I don't know if I'd really call them a pickup stack, but they're certainly not a squad that's been together for too long of a time, if I'm correct. Nomad and Thatcher being the first two bans, of course, very standard. Um, but Maestro is interesting, and Maestro is an operator that we saw Project Neo running a hell of a lot of.
Yeah, that could have some sort of severe impact to their defense, but based on what we saw and how clean it was, I have a feeling that the Maestro is not going to completely knock it off the rails, per se. But we're going to have our stock standard bans. We are going to have both the Valkyrie is off, the Thatcher is off, and the Nomad is gone as well. No surprise there.
Yeah, again, Project Neo's bans on this map stay kind of static. You don't want to allow the defenders to play too aggressively with that Nomad and Valkyrie ban. And then I guess Didn't Ask just don't want to deal with the Maestro, which is, I mean, perfectly understandable. Maestro is sometimes a bit of a headache on this map. Um, I mean, he's just good everywhere. Like, no matter what site you go to, you could always use a Maestro. Cafeteria Garage is going to be the very first site for Project Neo's defense. And looking at their lineup, it seems like they have taken the Maestro out and put the Malusi in.
Yeah, this is a good change to see. It's going to serve a similar purpose in the way of information. Those wubwubs will tell you exactly where the push is coming from, just like an Evil Eye would do the same. Of course, the plant denial aspect, though, that is by no means as powerful on those Banshees as it is on those Maestro cameras. But at least for now, at least in the early game, those wubwubs will make a tremendous impact. Those are, in a large part, what created and I guess you could call it the utility consumption simulator meta of old. One that is starting to slowly fall out of style, but when you bring out the Malusi and when you bring out those Miro windows, utility consumption will always be a focus. You have to add a couple of steps as any attacking team, including removing those Miro windows from play, at least taking them out with some hard breach or approaching them with some vertical play. But regardless, it adds another step to your attack. Those Banshees do as well. You need to save utility, save manpower, and quite a bit of time to dealing with all of these vital power positions for the defense. If you don't, your attack will be over before it even gets started. Spiker is going to make that even more realistic, cutting down Optizzy, the Buck, no longer a factor.
Where was he? Where was Optizzy?
Huh.
Oh wait, is it?
Main stairs?
Oh, he was outside the spiral rappel. Right on
Ooh.
the windows under the camera, I can see his gun. Yeah, see? Right there, and that's where the diffuser is dropped. That is an excellent kill for Spiker. So already we can kind of compare Didn't Ask and Synthetic Esports, or rather contrast them. Instead of bringing, the Zofia and the Sledge, they'll have the Buck and the Zero, but they lose the Buck instantly. Now, most of your soft breaching is going to rely on the breaching charges of the Ash, and speaking of, she'll walk in and fell the player on yellow stairs. Down goes X24 to Envy, so at least it's a 1-for-1, but just in terms of utility, the defense are still in the advantage. Now, JJ's inside a bathroom, as he was in those rounds against Synthetic on their basement hold. He's going to start feeling that pressure from above. That is a very common angle that you see played now, where they open up top above bathroom, and they can kind of get that vertical angle down on the bathroom stall. But Envy's not going to try and use that anymore. He's just going to walk in the bathroom and take JJ out. As Jandy has opened the main breach, so the Ace's job now done. C4 goes out from Spiker below. Will not find its target. JJ now holding this very close angle with the shotgun, but Didn't Ask, certainly wasting a lot of time hunting him down, and it looks like they're just going to opt to ignore JJ. But if they become exposed to that hatch, it could certainly be a decision that comes back to bite them.
Yeah, this is the position we've seen from JJ so many times tonight already, and again, it is working, not only as a time suck, but as a potential kill factory if they're not careful. He's still gonna hold this position. He's got an M590. Any
Ooh.
close angle will be his, but the long one will not be won by either player. 15 seconds are all that remains. JJ on the drop. He's gonna get a fadeaway onto Envy. Spiker gonna follow that up with a double kill, cutting down Jandy. Delta Force will get a double kill, lining up the heads. That's going to be bringing it back to a 2v2. No, that's going to be a big play from him, but Adapt, he's going to come around and take out the Twitch. The plant's going down. It has to be stuck with the time at 0. And Adapt will, oh my, eventually lining up the shots with the 416, making it happen, and Project Neo take round number 1.
Even in chat, Adapt, he's got a little bit of shame for that one. But that, all in all, was a pretty decent defense from Neo. Nearly falling apart at the end there, but that was really down to that roam upstairs. Not only do you take out the Buck, severely limiting the attacker's ability to flush out those anchor positions. You saw Envy trying to do the work, but without JJ being clear as well, factor number 2, Envy could not do it safely, efficiently, and effectively. JJ ended up just swinging him and dropping the hatch. Now, Delta Force pushing up concrete, getting 3 kills was absolutely massive, but by the time he did that, Spiker had already killed one of the players on the breach. Jandy and he were both very separated, and Adapt came in for the perfect flank, killing Delta Force. At that point, Snoop just had no choice but to stick that defuse. Good job by Project Neo, not letting that big 3K slip through their fingers and still confirming the round win. Now we're gonna be doing this top-down archives hold again. Now, I'll refrain from calling it the aerial arise hold, because Project Neo do have their own spin on it, which I'm definitely very glad to see. Instead of having Jaeger on filing cabinet, they have him playing over towards the mirror window. JJ does still play kind of where Gunner was, and X24, he plays a little bit further back. Instead of playing in and around meeting and long desk, he kind of positions himself inside of console and yellow, which is definitely a little bit farther afield from the rest of his team than aerial arise hold. And of course, you have mute rather than Maestro for that extra drone denial, just to round out the mute Mozzie Vigil trio. And X24 already need to deal just over 30-35 worth of HP to Optizzy.
And I think we're gonna do our best to avoid making comparisons between Didn't Ask and Synthetic for the remainder of this map, but you do have to consider that it is important to take a look at the success of Project Neo's defense. Oh, the brilliant play there. X24 unable to shoot the drone, and Delta Force, he's gonna get a double kill. Spiker's gonna feed him another, searching the refrag, but getting absolutely clapped. Adapt, a brilliant shot there onto Optizzy, starting to bring back that man advantage that Didn't Ask is now established. The refrag is not there. You do have a player in bathroom, a player in CO. That is both Envy and Delta Force, but Adapt, He's going to back on off. Still playing long death, so a dangerous position, but one that could work wonders if done well. He's going to fall off as now he's been droned out, and they have to be careful not to overcommit to this top floor hold, because with Didn't Ask now having the man advantage and possibly having this top floor map control, it is going to get more dangerous by the second for Neo to be holding these positions.
JJ using a C4 on that window unsuccessfully, as well as here comes the attackers. They might even take control of this mirror window and use it against the Mozzie, but the one saving grace right now for Neo is, yes, they're down a man, but Delta Force and Envy were heavily lit up by X24. And there it is. The open mirror window is going to result in the death of Delta Force as JJ falls off. Now you have a 1 HP Ashe going into this even man count. She'll start to open up from above. There's the angle down onto the Visa stairs, but as she looks down, up comes Adapt. This could be an easy kill, and there we go. Envy shot right in the center of the back. Now it's Snoop and Jandy. 2 versus 3. Lead that Didn't Ask had held is slipped away now, and they're -1 in the man count. Diffuser also not in their hands, as I say that, Jandy will go ahead and pick that up. Now, Neo do still have a C4 in pocket as well. They do have Rated. Now, the only issue with bringing that Mute instead of the Maestro is that while you focus on drone denial, you don't have much info inside of the site itself. So a lot of these C4s are going to have to come off of either sound cues or teammate calls, not necessarily hard intel. Snoop is going to have to cover while Jandy plants. 15 seconds left, but no, he's not covering over towards the hallway. JJ with a perfectly timed swing and Rated on the mirror to round things out. Project Neo able to clutch up round number 2.
Yeah, the coverage was just not there. That was a surprising blunder there from Didn't Ask in those closing moments when they did a great job playing off each other on that top floor clear. They did it so well, and it allowed them to take that man advantage. But once that togetherness started to fall away, things began to fall away for their attack as well. The man advantage was lost, and it was a 2v3 and a tough one at that. Oddly enough, both of the C4s were actually not below in archives. Both were coming up from Z, from that Circle Desk jungle area. So it very much was a winnable situation there for the attack. Didn't Ask could have pulled that out had the zero been looking the right way, but it was a tough position. You have to be aware that there could be a player pushing up Visa stairs. Got to be aware of Spiral coming from the bottom, coming from the top, coming from Circle Desk. A lot of big crossfires to cover there, and obviously 2 players could not do it all, especially if one of them had to keep their face buried in the ground for 7 seconds. So Didn't Ask not able to penetrate the Project Neo defense again, and it's going to be Project Neo who go ahead to that 2-0 lead and will be heading down to lobby and press room as their tertiary bomb site of choice. Another key component of this round will be the vertical play, something that Didn't Ask actually dealt with for the most part pretty successfully, at least in round number 2.
A big question for me too as well is if Neo end up winning this round. Now, of course, it's not a guarantee that they do, but if they do we see the 4th bomb site? Do we see the JJ console clash hold once again? I would certainly love to see that.
Oh,
and that's something you hate to see. Delta Force, by far and away, the top performer throughout the first 2 rounds from Didn't Ask. In fact, the only man with kills other than Envy's 1 will be spawn peaked by none other than X24 for his very first kill. Now, if that isn't just heartbreaking, I don't know what it is. I don't know what is. Now it's up to the rest of Didn't Ask to prove that it is not just Delta Force, that the rest of them can hang in this match as well.
We're going to have to see Didn't Ask make this happen very soon. Otherwise, Project Neo will be showcasing another dominant consulate performance, at least on the defensive half, pretty shortly. But it's still round number 3. It's still early days in this map, and X24 is still going to be peaking. Envy, the R4C, will deliver X24 straight to his 6-foot grave, punishing the over-aggressive peak on the yellow stairs. It's going to be a 4v4 now with Optizzy trying to get some vertical pressure from below, establishing that angle onto the anti-window that often many players like to hold, but JJ is doing JJ things. He's going to be hanging out in the bathroom, but Optizzy be fragging out in the meantime, cutting down the mute, not only removing that C4, but adapt from play entirely. Going to be a 3v4 as we get further into this one. You still have JJ holding this bathroom position. He's wary of the buck from below, and you've got Spiker playing above and rated, using that heartbeat sensor to try to get as much information as possible. The information game is what was lacking in round number 2 for both teams. But in round number 3, information seems to be aplenty. And it's going to be these gunfights that close out and decide the winner.
This is definitely interesting from Optizzy. It's not something we normally see, kind of a bottom-up perspective on lobby rather than top-down, and it will grab Envy a kill onto JJ. The gridlock pick as well from Snoop is definitely interesting, especially with how fluid that Neo tend to move around the map, but here comes the piano push. Smokes go out, and I don't know if they know that Rated is hugging the antechamber wall, but they won't actually push off their smoke grenade. It looks to be a fake as Jandy has now moved over to the circle desk. I don't know if the defenders know this. Here comes the plant. Rated is still inside a piano. There's absolutely nothing that the defense can do to counter this. In fact, Rated will try to rotate upstairs. He sees a player inside a bathroom. Down goes Envy. One pick goes the way of the defense, but in the meantime, plant has been confirmed. Spiker looking outside, watching for that exterior player, of which there's only one, but while he's distracted, Jandy takes the perfect opportunity to swing up from where the diffuser was planted. It's just Rated. 1v3, Optizzy watching the hallway, and down goes the UMP. Didn't ask. They take one back. They do what Synthetic couldn't. Take a round off of Neo.
Doing so rather handily on this lobby and press room site, and what characterized that attack was how mobile it really was. They got on the window rappel, they made it really seem like a piano take was underway. But all of a sudden, they got the information they needed, they realized that Circle Desk wasn't being contested whatsoever, and a plant in Circle Desk, when you can run out into police line spawn, basically get an incredibly long angle onto the main lobby door. I mean, that is a winnable post plant every single time. A good change there on that attack. Really choosing to adapt mid-round, something that many teams struggle to do, and it's often the sign of an attacking team that not only really knows what they're doing, but then can coordinate, switch on the fly. It shows their adaptability, and it is great to see a team's mind at work, like Didn't Ask showed us in round number 3. But Project Neo, now with their first round loss on Consulate for this evening, the first in 9 rounds, or 10 now. It's going to be up to them to see how they adapt themselves and change things up as we head back downstairs to this kitchen and garage site. Last time it was a pretty solid defense from Project Neo, characterized again by JJ's play in this first floor bathroom. Delta Force was able to find several kills and almost changed up the round. But this time, obviously, things could unfold differently. The key for Neo seems to be shutting down Delta Force early.
Kind of sad. They're not doing the clash hold.
Yeah, they're not doing the clash thing.
That's okay. This was still a pretty good bomb site for them. Of course, like you said, Delta Force was a driving factor in how close that round came for Didn't Ask. It was actually had to go down to a 1v2 clutch for Adapt, thanks to his big 3K just walking down concrete and killing anything that got in his way. Now, Optizzy, not getting spawn peaked. Excellent job so far. I'm kind of interested to see how Didn't Ask are going to be able to adjust their push and how much, well, possibly how much easier it'll be for them if they actually have their bucket play. That will get droned out. It'll start to fall back as the attackers take into admin. Destroy some of the wayward track stingers there for whatever reason. I don't know how those...
Where did they come from?
Where's the grid
Above,
lock?
maybe? Above?
Snoop is... just... Is he out the visa door?
Ah.
I think he's... Okay, he's outside the visa door. Because there were only like 3 there, so that was a little bit confusing, but Spiker will blow Delta Force sky high. Like we said, the secret that Neo need to keep repeating if they want to find a little bit easier success now, especially on this bomb site, was take out Delta Force early. He just so happens to be that opening pick, a freebie from a Nitro Cell.
Nitro cells coming out from Project Neo seem to be shaping these rounds time and time again. Like, it's pretty incredible stuff. And to see them have that intel and have the quick thinking to make those happen, it really is impressive. Envy, they'll be challenging on this bathroom once again, but the shots will actually ring out from below. and tag him up just a little bit. Adapt is going to take a bit of damage too, but for now, it's going to be stalling on out. Envy, he's getting aggressive. They know how important taking control of Bathroom will be. They failed to do it last time, and it made their push so much more difficult. For now, Envy's going to let JJ be, and he's going to try to remove any sort of hard breach denial on that Wub Wub that is in play. He'll return his focus to the Bathroom. The pings are there. He knows that JJ's up on the toilet. He's raised up and has an angle onto stage in Piano, but he doesn't quite see the Ash just yet. The remaining breaching rounds are going to go in. That's going to remove the last bit of Banshees from play, but JJ is still in the Bathroom. We've said this so many times, and he's just this player. You cannot remove from this position. The flank from Rated will send the buck, that's up Tizzy, to the grave, and Jandy's gonna go for the swing. Adapt, gonna cut one down. Rated gonna do it as well, and Jandy can only find JJ before X24 seals it right out, and Project Neo will find themselves success again on this basement bomb site.
So, JJ finally dying, I guess, but it was only after he evacuated the Bathroom. Massive position from him. Neo, I mean, even then, not really delaying a lot of time on any other aspect of the building. It was just that one kill on a Delta Force, and they all fell back to site. That was a lot of stalling out there from Didn't Ask, not only on that Bathroom push from Envy, but just kind of stalling out outside the breach because JJ is in Bathroom. They can't comfortably soft breach. Optizzy didn't, I don't think actually did a lot of soft breaching. At least not that I recall. That was kind of a weird split push as well towards the end. You had people by the breach and people kind of pushing over towards the blue side, and they all just kind of died. The only refrag in that entire scuffle was Jandy getting JJ, and from there, nothing much happened, especially Rated going huge on the spiral stairs, completely left unchecked. I don't even know if he flanked. I think he was there like the entire round
Oh, really?
and
Okay.
was just never pushed out. Because I saw someone on spiral like earlier in the round,
Mhm.
but I'm not too sure. I can probably look though, like maybe when the stream catches up to the round, I can look back and just confirm my suspicion. But yeah, Project Neo there, really able to split up that push and shut him down pretty much everywhere they tried to entry. And now again, the top-down archives hold the other site on which they were very successful.
It's going to come down to the decisions that Didn't Ask are going to make here. We saw their decision making shine in round number 3, and I think if they start to get a foothold on exactly what kind of,
Oh
well,
no.
oh gosh, literally
Wow.
what hold is going on, I think that they could, come up with a pretty strong pivot and approach from a different angle. But for now, it's just going to be about clearing out admin or approaching from elsewhere, really figuring out your attack early and not being indecisive about it. Because if you're going to wait until 1 minute is left on the clock to either push admin or change up your push from admin, things aren't going to go too well. We saw Envy there nearly get taken out, but X24 couldn't quite find the headshot or one more bullet, in fact, onto the Ash. Envy now knows the position of the
Oh.
Vigil, but Delta Force, he's going to lose the gunfight to the Vigil. That is huge. X24 making it happen, and he's still on this persistent extended roam. A huge play resulting in the loss of Delta Force again.
Oh no, is he gonna be able to get a run out and get the second kill? There's two people on the rappel, and I think one is watching the doorway. But no, Optizzy's I think was actually on a drone. That is so unfortunate. Now you've lost your Twitch and your Buck. And the kicker, neither of those are the people that X24 spawn peaked and put down to 1 HP. That's Envy. One of the men's still alive. Even when X24 isn't getting kills on this roam, he is still wasting time and he is still doing damage. There's a minute 25 left in this round, a 5 versus 3 for Didn't Ask to work themselves out of, and X24, he's pretty much gotten away scot-free. They'll actually open the garage where X24 is currently playing in. He'll retreat over towards cafeteria. You might be able to find an easy kill over towards that garage door, as now more defenders have allocated themselves to the basement floor. Not only do you have X24, you've also got Rated on the Mira, and one inside of, I believe, security? No, he's just outside of concrete. That's Spiker holding that with the shotgun. Anyone tries to push that, they're I mean, they're probably just a dead man. You can't really win a 90-degree angle fight against a shotgun. In fact, all three of the attackers now moving it downstairs, completely ignoring any of that upstairs presence. And wow, Envy being so low allows for that kind of range on the shotgun. He's now down on the floor with only 37 seconds left. Picking him up might be more of a time commitment than Didn't Ask can spare. In fact, they'll actually send out track stingers to not only cover their tracks, but also cover the sound of the res. Jandy now also extremely lit up by both the Mira and the Jaeger playing blue and top visas respectively. Envy trying to make another hole into Cafeteria. Good bait. Snoop able to take out Spiker, but it's only 1 kill in 4. X24 finally shut down, but there's the main defuse carrier gone. JJ trying to swing on the other will get traded up, but the gridlock is gone thanks to that aggressive push. It's just Envy, but he actually wins it out. Rated team killed amongst the scuffle. I thought it was a 2 versus 1, but Rated team killing put it down to a 1v1, and Envy had the Mira window. The first man in the round to take damage off the spawn peak from X24 will be the one to win it out. And Neo, how did you throw that round away?
What in the world? That was something else. I don't even know what just happened. We need a slow motion replay of that or something, because wow, it looked like it was impossible. It was all stacking up
that caught me
against the attack. They were all pushing up highway. All three attackers pushed up highway, pushed through concrete into archives through the same double door, and somehow they didn't all die in the crossfire. I have simply no idea how Project Neo lost that. Not to mention how Envy was able to pull it out. But you've got to put a lot of question marks on that round and come back to that one if you're Neo, review it and say, how in the world did that go wrong? Every single Neo defender knew where the push was coming from. They had all the information in the world. The tracks were there, the sound call were there. I mean, you had a player top Visa. You had a player, I think, on Spiral. You had 2 in archives. I still can't understand how that happened.
Well, there's 3 things that I can identify from Didn't Ask that were a huge boon to them winning that attack. 1, refrags upon refrags. Every time they went into engagement, they were able to trade out their teammates. 2, there were 2 free picks for Didn't Ask there. Spiker peeking aggressive on concrete, and X24 walking down Spiral and losing his fight. Those 2 put them in the even man count, and the trades on top of that, because there were no refrags from the defense until those 2 kills came out. Now, the defense was in a 3 versus 2. The third point was Rated team killing. When Rated swung out against that player pushing down Spiral, not only did he kill that player, but he team killed as well. That puts it down to a 1v1. Envy is already in the site. He has the mirror window, and Rated just pushes right into him. That was a series of unfortunate events for Project Neo, and Didn't Ask capitalized on every single step of the way. Beautiful recovery there from Didn't Ask. Of course, they couldn't do it without Rated's help, but still, most of that round was just on them walking in, having each other's backs, and just being a better engagements. Now Project Neo, what should be a 4-1 lead, and perhaps even a 5-1 half, now the best they can hope for is the average split of a 4-2.
Yeah, you've got this lobby and press room hold that's going to be the focus again. This time you're sending up Tizzy below in an effort to possibly pressure out that mirror window, or instead just get those lines of sight onto Anti. Because that hatch is reinforced, there isn't anything that the attackers could actually do from below unless they wanted to waste those Selma charges. But because you only have the 1 hard breacher, that's not something you're going to want to be doing, at least in this round. You've already used one of those to open up the garage to gain some of that vertical pressure onto Piano and onto Antechamber, and right now they don't have that kind of hard breach utility to spare. In terms of utility that Adapt has, he's bringing the Echo. So you've got those yokai drones to prevent the intel, or at least gain the intel as much as you can. But what Delta Force did, we saw it happen in the prep phase. We actually saw Delta Force use his Twitch drone to take out a yokai drone. With the frags going on the board here, and X24 He's going to get a double kill, cutting down both the Twitch and the gridlock of Snoop, eventually losing his life to Envy here, 3v3 now. But things keep going back and forth, and without any time on the clock, it's going to have to be an execute.
Flash coming in from off Tizzy. Unfortunately, that was a little bit of a miss throw, but 15 seconds left. Like you mentioned, very low on time. They don't actually have full control of the top floor. That'll punish them as Adapt finds one. JJ with a C4 on another before he's refragged by Envy. But at this point, Envy's got a stick. Here's the Yokai drone coming in. Is it going to be there in time? 1 second left, and there it is. Perfectly played by Adapt, just in the nick of time. And I almost said Team Neo. Project Neo, able to salvage the round. 4-2 half. Not letting it slip away too much. They lost lobby last time. They were able to amend their hold this time. Definitely down to X24 getting those 2 big kills upstairs, and JJ being able to frag out that first player on site. And just again, I feel like Didn't Ask's main problem throughout that entire half was time management. It seemed like every single time they were pushing, it was in the last like 25, 30 seconds, and they just had to force themselves into gunfights, and 4 out of 6 of those times, they lost them.
Well, Crow, this is one of those maps that time management is so key. This is
Yeah.
not many people are aware of the origin of the SSG style roam, but it wasn't actually on Clubhouse that it was implemented initially. This was the map that SSG first pulled out that information denial, Mozzie mute, extended roam, and it worked brilliantly. This is one of those maps that requires a methodical approach on attack, just like Clubhouse does, but even more so. There is so much vertical play here, so many long angles that you can get from nearly any part of this map on every single bomb site. It is essential to have at least 2/3 of this map under your firm control as an attacking team. And so because of that, the strategies that Project Neo brought to the table on defense, I mean, it feeds in brilliantly to that time waste ideal that is critical to any strong defense. And in most maps, I'll give you that, in most maps in Siege, but especially a map like Consulate. But of course, we're switching things around now. It's Didn't Ask's turn to waste time. They're going to be bringing a similar interesting bathroom setup, similar to the way that JJ was holding it earlier, but now it will be Jandy bringing out the Mira, going for that hold instead. It's going to be this admin-sided take coming in from Project Neo. Optizzy will contest that initially, but early drones and an early spot will cut Optizzy down about 25 HP less, and he will fall back wisely.
So Project Neo pretty swiftly clearing out this top 2 floors, technically. And definitely something interesting is the fact that, like you mentioned, they've got a Mira for a basement hold. Not something that Project Neo were running, but not something that's too unfamiliar either. Usually you've got one in security and one inside a bathroom. You can see that's where Snoop is playing. And Snoop actually takes some damage from that breaching charge, I think, while he was on top of the toilet in the stall. So he's definitely feeling a little bit of the pressure. We'll see if... one of the things that I'm definitely interested to see is how quickly or not Project Neo are able to clear out bathroom. I think that'll definitely give us a good idea of how apt they are at attacking this kind of site in comparison to Didn't Ask. So Snoop is still holding pretty firm. I'm not sure if he's got any ADSs. Well, there's one being burnt, another as well, but he'll drop the hatch just in the nick of time, avoiding that frag grenade. But look, Project Neo still have a minute 20. They forced everyone down on the bomb site, flushed out bathroom, still have Sledge, and now have 2 entry picks on both Delta Force and Optizzy.
Those are 2 pretty big players to be cutting down, especially 416 and MP5. Definitely the weapons you don't want to deal with when you go for that execute. The vertical play is now going to be the focus of Project Neo now that the bathroom player has been swiftly dealt with, and soon enough, that wall is going to be opened wide. You've got both the Habana X Kairos pellets and the Selmas that the Ace wields, and so the garage breach is going to be soon to be established, that line of sight onto the entire bomb. Snoop, he's going to be playing a deployable shield here on pipes, an angle that can be established from above, and a possible nade could rain on through, but those have already been used up, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to kill Snoop. You can just be killing every other player on the bomb site. X24, he's going to get a double kill, cutting down another Snoop's going to be forced to fall back into security. Both the defenders bunched up. There's nothing they can do to stop the plant. Jandy and Snoop, though, they're going to line up too. JJ with a quick response, and X24 will line up the triple kill, and Project Neo will cleanly take round 7.
Wow. If I had to use a word to describe that round, it would be textbook from Neo.
Mhm.
Droned out, cleared the top 2 floors with the exception of bathroom in a minute 30, minute 20. Focused on bathroom, put all this. So that's I think one of the big differences. Before Neo starts doing the vertical play, before they start opening the garage breach and focusing on their execute, they pool what like 3 people into
Yep.
clearing bathroom, and that in my mind is the big difference. You saw on the attack for didn't ask, it was like just Envy and just him alone, and he was never really able to successfully do it. Neo put at least Spiker and JJ on it together and adapt, I think, and flush that dude out. From there, they still have a minute 20 to play with and start doing their vert. But as I said that, Jandy, or sorry, not Jandy, it was Optizi on Malusi trying to flank up Visa and Delta Force coming up Spiral, both get caught on their flanks. So now not only do you have bathroom, not only is your sledge still alive, not only do you have more than a minute to play with, but you put yourselves in a 5v3. And from there, Execute comes down. Sure, Snoop and Jandy get a kill each, but they are just instantly refragged as they can't do anything about the plant. The Mute had to get aggressive, and the Mira got caught with her pants down thanks to X24 pushing from Cafeteria, who already killed the smoke as well. So that was an extremely efficient attack from Project Neo. Now they lead 5-2. They're keeping that 3-round lead and didn't ask, not wanting to go back down to the basement. They will instantly swap to the middle floor site.
Well, the one thing I do want to add about that bathroom take, Crow, is it just seems that Project Neo know the importance of the first floor bathroom. They hold it so tightly on defense. They hold it until the last moments, and so they know that it should be their #1 priority the moment they know they have the first floor control to just send as much utility as possible straight onto the bathroom player. We saw on the first side of the things, JJ never had to fall off that angle simply because of utility or the danger of dying. He only rotated back to site because of the time, and it made sense to just be on site to support for the execute. Never once did the Mute actually get forced out of that position, at least on the first half of things. It seems that Project Neo know exactly how to clear him out, and JJ knows how to take out the Jaeger from above. Goodbye, Delta Force. Man advantage firmly in the hands of Project Neo now that Spiker finds the follow-up. Optizi will have something to say about that, but so will Spiker, finally getting that trade.
Oh, the bullet
Goodbye,
holes.
Jandy, the bullet hole peak from X24. And it's going to be all up to Envy in a 1v4 and Adapt. Cleans it up in Project Neo. Take round number 8, seemingly at its onset.
Oh, and here it is. Here it is again.
Oh my.
JJ with the tack timeout. They're up 6-2. So you know what JJ always does. Now that tack timeouts are available. Hey guys, let's psych them out.
That's brutal.
Let's talk. Make sure that we don't throw this lead. Make sure that we can just take this one extra round and let them stew. Let them sit there, argue amongst themselves, try and have them figure out what's going wrong. Because man, that attack was, I mean, even more textbook than the last one. They didn't even really like focus on clearing upstairs, and that's what I love about it. All they did was take Visa Hall and hold the players upstairs, and they walked into him. JJ getting the kill on a Delta. Sure, Optizi gets one refrag while the execute is going down, but he is instantly traded out. X24 is just holding bullet holes down the hallway into jungle. I mean, what are you going to do against that? And meanwhile, Rated getting the plant down in smoke. Perfect cover. The smoke gas grenade, I think, went to the wrong side of the doorway, so it wasn't hitting Rated either. And by then, I mean, it's a post plant. You've got, what, one guy upstairs, one guy coming Visa, and 2 outside? What are you going to do against that? Neo just... And I know Neo have been a team that I have been casting since, I mean, really since I started, almost like a year and a half ago now. And they've always been, they were a mid-tier team. Then once a lot of the stronger teams started leaving, they started getting better. They were at the top, and then they had a bit of a slump.
Mhm.
They had a huge slump, and now, I mean, they look scary.
They do. They do. And one more thing I want to highlight about that last round, Crow, is that like they saw and like the smallest opportunity, like they realized that they could get a bit aggressive and they didn't have to go for the top down clear. And because of that, instead of just sweating and forcing those defenders out of their anchored positions, they got early traction as an attack and forced the defenders to go on the aggression because
Mm.
the map control was already being sacrificed and already being taken by the attackers. The defenders had to go for the retreat. They had to go back to the bomb site. And just like that bullet hole we saw from X24, just like a couple of those long angles that were established by the attackers, they knew exactly where they needed to look. They knew exactly how to cut off the rotation. It's all, I mean, it really is great to see when a team identifies a weakness in a defense and capitalizes on it right away. That is, at least to me, that is one of my favorite parts of Siege, to see mid-round. Like, I want to see the teams, their brains at work. I want to see where the IGL call came in to say, oh guys, let's take early map control and force them to end up killing themselves. Like, that is our perfect strategy here. That it was so good to see from Project Neo, and I just think that last round was a perfect indicator of why they have gone so far in these open quals and why they still remain undefeated and why they very well could be the only team in the quals undefeated by the end of the night.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly looking like it with the way that they have been playing. And now, didn't ask, they will try and flex onto yet again, different bomb site. It'll be Armory Archive. So, got drone denial, got the Vigil and the Mute, plenty of C4. They've got 3, along with the Pulse for the Intel, and Optizi on Oryx. Typically, if you're going to see an Oryx on this site, I
What?
okay. So they tried to do the G2 rush. Remember when this site first came out? They tried to do the G2 rush. X24 TK'd and his other 2 teammates died, and now he himself is dead. It is JJ in a closet downstairs in a 1v4.
Oh my.
So I think this round is kind of a wash, as now they know exactly where he is. We'll see if JJ can pull something out. I mean, he's got 2 minutes to play with, but I don't know if Didn't Ask are gonna let this one slip. And yep, there we go.
Yeah, that would have been an embarrassing one to throw away, and didn't ask. They they are undefeated so far for a reason. They're not going to lose that, but things still not looking great for them. It will be, of course, one round easier now. It's going to be, what is it, 6-3 now overall match point. Yep, and we're going to have to see the same thing we saw in our first series of the night. It's going to have to be a 3-round in a row. I guess 4 now. A 4-round in a row, come back with the map on the line. Not something that is easy to do against a team like Neo, and especially given the fact that it feels unlikely they're going to attempt the same rush again. We're going to hopefully see round number 10 play out in a more traditional fashion.
Yeah, I imagine we're not gonna see something like that again. That was definitely I think we can call that an outlier. So now we're back on Basement, a site where JJ and the boys pretty much just kind of completely iced Didn't Ask. I imagine we'll see a very similar setup, probably inside a bathroom with Snoop. They've got a little bit more drone denial at their disposal with Optizi on the Mozzie now. Not sure how much good that's going to do, unless they try and extend all the way upstairs, which it looks like Optizi is going for. So, a little bit more aggressive here from Didn't Ask, trying to meet Project Neo earlier in the building, I guess. But I mean, bring all the drone denial you want. I don't know if that's going to be able to save Snoop. With the way that Project Neo have been taking this bathroom, it's been nearly flawless every time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into this round skeptical.
Well, let me be the optimistic one here. Let's say that Didn't Ask can figure out a way to just shut down this horizontal pressure and the early piano control that Project Neo like to take. they are going to go for that methodical clear. They're going to enter from admin. They're going to take top floor control and use that to take the second floor control. What Didn't Ask can do is they can just be super persistent on this roam. Of course, if you have that Mute and Mozzie combo, the information denial wombo combo, that I like to call it, it's going to make this hold even easier. Tizzy, though, he is going to be forced out and not going to overly aggress like I suspected he might. Falling off, of course, is smart, but I am wondering if the smart play is not the best play here for Didn't Ask, simply because Project Neo simply have this attack down. They know exactly how to attack this site methodically. X24 is actually going to take a bit of damage. I'm not sure where exactly that was from. Could have been from below. Maybe the long angle bottom spiral now. Delta Force who's rotated down. Could be. Maybe Jandy. That could be it. But regardless, the first floor pressure is in full force for Project Neo right now. They've got circle control. They're putting pressure into antechamber, and they're putting that bathroom pressure on as well. It's going to be about how fast they can clear this player out. And if Jandy can make an impact, nearly missing the shots on the one in his position is now known. So here comes JJ on the hunt.
Gotta get this guy out of bathroom. Again, Neo know how important this is, but Snoop wins that fight. Adapt just tries to rush in head first, and it's his head that'll be taken off. JJ will also fall to Delta Force. Here's what we needed from Didn't Ask. They start to bite back. Snoop is the only player currently damaged on the squad, and with less than a minute left, Project Neo gotta start doing some work. They gotta start getting these kills down under the floorboards. Otherwise, they're gonna be trying to take a site against 5 members strong. C4 goes up. Deals a lot of damage to Spiker. Now he and X24 both at around half HP. Soup is just straight up challenging the breach, and he wins the fight against Rated. Jandy as well on the flank. He takes out one before he's refragged, and it's just Spiker. 1 versus 4 to try and close out the map. He almost sees one through the hatch. Delta Force taking pot shots over towards his head. He's going to try maybe for a yellow flank. Either way, there's only 20 seconds. Spiker has 4 kills to find. That's only a 5-second average for each of these kills. It's pretty much undoable for him. This round is watched. Didn't Ask with their 4th point, and I love the adjustment. They played a little bit more aggro. They held on to bathroom a lot more firmly. Snoop also not only holding on to it, but getting a pick from the position as well is what they needed to get their 4th round. They don't go out just yet.
Well, I think our good friend Cherish may have said it perfectly in chat. JJ unironically icing his own team's mental. That's a very interesting statement, but a distinct possibility here. Now that all of a sudden the momentum has not only shifted for 1 round, but 2. And with X24 quickly departing the lobby, he's going to come back, maybe toggle on. He'll be ready to go for these closing few rounds. They still have that 2-round lead. They still have match point on the horizon, but here it's looking a bit dicey. You know, you're seeing a defensive team that's suddenly coming into its element, and very well could be coming back here. Bro, are you up to no good again?
I don't. What did I do?
Classic.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
What is Logan blaming me for? All right. I just didn't kick Logan from the lobby. And shut up. This is why you watch Domestic Girlfriend. Freaking weirdo. Anyway, we're back on the lobby. There's another site though that Neo took pretty handedly. Although we just saw Didn't Ask make a really good adjustment to Neo's attack. If they can do that again, gotta mute Mozzie. I wonder if they're gonna play a little bit more aggro. If they can do that again, it'll be 6-5, and they will be within striking distance of overtime. And if this goes to overtime, I don't know. Things could be looking shaky for Neo.
I agree. I think Neo need to put this away right now. I think taking this to 6-5, of course, it is Neo. They're a consulate team. They've proved it so far, but you never want to be in that situation where your mental is, you know, getting a bit down after a long day of siege and things are getting dicey. You iced yourself with a tactical timeout, and well, maybe you just don't want to risk it. You want to end it here and I think this is the best course of action for Project Neo. They're gonna have to attack this bomb site, but if you think back just a couple of rounds ago, this was the probably most textbook attack that we've seen in a while on this bomb site, and they're going to be looking to get it going again. You've got X24. He's going to set up this very same Claymore and possibly hold the very same bullet holes. You've got Jandy, though. He's playing below, and he knows exactly where the Zofia is positioned. The call goes out to Delta Force, but despite X24 rotating back into Visa, there was no Jandy there to capitalize on it. It's a slower take this time from Project Neo. Things getting stalled out, and with the Zofia X24 off the board, Jandy making it happen. Project Neo are now down a man, a 5v4 for Didn't Ask.
So now no free kill in the hallway for X24 and no free kill for JJ upstairs into Projector either. Delta Force wising up to that peak, making sure that he's not just going to give away his life for free. Envy has this shield he can play with, and out comes the first gas canister as a gas nade or a smoke grenade is there in response. Not quite sure why Rated threw that out, but it'll be used. So he's only got, well, actually, he doesn't have any left in his pocket. No more smokes for cover on the plant. Rated will start to move in, though. He'll try and get it down. The C4 from below could find it, but it's actually shot midair. What a reaction from Rated as the smoke goes down as well. Rated just could have single-handedly saved the round, but no. Jandy shuts him down. Down goes the planter. Adapt with an instant trade, though, his second of the round. He's now in that default position, and he makes it out of the site alive. Spiker as well, still on that upstairs clear. He catches Snoop off guard, and Adapt will start going for the plant. C4 will also get shot. They're 2 for 2, but no, the swing comes out for Uptizzy. Down goes JJ. Delta Force with Adapt as well. Both the players on the front door now dead. It's just Spiker. A 1 versus 2. ADS will catch his nade. He's got to try and peek around the shield to clutch this up. Both players are over towards antechamber and bathroom. He peeks down long. He sees the Mozzie's shoulder for a second. Wants to try and take these close gunfights. But Delta Force is long gone. He'll try and flank around. He nearly catches the back of Uptizzy, but an ill-timed pre-fire gives his position away and Didn't Ask survive yet another round. We're 1 round away from OT.
Well, in the last few rounds, it does seem that we've talked a lot about Project Neo and the mistakes they've been making, but Didn't Ask in that round played it exceptionally well. The retake that they had to bring to the table in order to win that round was a tough one, to say the least. You have to challenge on the main double door where the attackers are waiting for you to swing on in. But it simply didn't matter. A brilliantly coordinated push from bottom of spiral, pushing into circle death. That was 1 kill. The swing from Uptizzy, that was another, and the round was over at that point. It looked like Project Neo were in the perfect position to take it, but it was denied wholeheartedly. It's very possible that the icing effect is very real here, Crow.
Yeah, that was huge. Being able to deny the plan not once but twice, and also at the same time kill Adapt, who is covering. It's a huge difference maker. Now, Didn't Ask. Caught back up. They have closed the gap. What was once a 3-round lead has now evaporated slowly to just 1. Project Neo probably sweating just a bit. Now we're back on Archives. We haven't actually seen how Project Neo take Archives against Didn't Ask, as I'm sure you all remember the last time that they attacked the site. They all just kind of walked into Visa and died. I don't suppose we'll see that again. You know, call me an optimist, but I don't think they're going to do that again. Probably see a proper take, probably a proper top-down clear, starting an admin, working their way down, trying to waste those C4s, of which Didn't Ask has plenty of. That might be the key. I always like to call it the minefield inside of Archives, where you have to try and duck and dodge around the explosives. If Didn't Ask can be as on point as Neo were with their explosives, we could be seeing overtime on the table.
Personally, I would love to see overtime. Always good to close out this final map of the day in style, but definitely for Project Neo, overtime here, it would be terrifying. From going from 6-2 to 6-6 OT, the map on the line, I mean, that is a tough situation to be in. In order to get this attack going, they're going to have to start this methodical clear. You've got Uptizzy, the first player in their way. The Oryx in C. Oh, and he's gonna
Oh.
find one onto X24. That is a massive pick. Adapt cannot find the refrag because the Oryx has successfully rotated away, and Optizzy will make his impact later in the round. He's in piano. He's going to be playing here, hoping to maintain map control as long as he can. But what he's doing right now is ticking that time away. 90 seconds burned in the round, 90 seconds left, and Project Neo have made very little progress, except for losing one player, of course. Delta Force, he's still on this confident roam. You still have Optizzy on the piano side. Finally, JJ will make his first floor entrance and will start to contest. As well, the vertical play will begin, but is it too little too late?
Yeah, that was quite the miss drone from Project Neo to start things off poorly. In fact, there's still a player. Is he inside tellers? He is! It's the Vigil! Delta Force hiding in the corner takes out JJ. He's looking for another one. Rated cannot yet find the refrag. The Vigil will wrap around, but the ace is long gone. Raid's still trying to take the fight. Pistol out. Unfortunately, Delta Force has gotten away, but he won't get away from the flank watch and adapt. We'll find Optizzy as well. So, we've now brought things back. We're back in a 3 versus 3, but look at the 3 players still left alive for Didn't Ask.
C4.
That's right. All the C4 still left up, and they are being very cautious about it. They don't want to use their C4 unsparingly, because if they do, that could mean the round end. Here comes the first plant attempt. C4 goes up. Rated doesn't come off in time. Snoop with a free frag. Adapt not pressuring downstairs quick enough. Here could be the second attempt, but here comes Adapt. Those last attackers separated. Down goes one, but there's the refrag, and Spiker just has to stick. 1 second left on it. He's able to get it off, but can he get away? Snoop now making his presence known, but Spiker stuck in a Malusi. He's able to try and get up Spiral, but there's one downstairs. But no! Spiker's able to get away again! Now he has this top-down presence. He can go for the denial. He's going to get lit up a little bit more, though. He's got to watch his HP. One wayward bullet could put him down, and he doesn't know where Jandy's coming from either, and he can't deny the counter defuse. Just in time, Jandy lands the headshot, and we're going to overtime.
Didn't Ask completing the 4-round comeback that they needed. Overtime is on the horizon. This is going to be exciting to see how it closes out. But the momentum for Project Neo is gone. They haven't had it for 4 rounds now, and the icing, in a huge way, has come into effect. Delta Force, he's calling for the tac timeout as well, and so now we're going to see how... Honestly, Crow, I don't know how I feel about this timeout. You have all of the momentum in the world. All of it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's kind of you're stumping your own momentum. And the thing is, with Neo, quote unquote, you could consider like wasting their timeout earlier. Don't give them the opportunity to talk and fix their stuff. They don't have that timeout anymore. You have the ball. I personally probably wouldn't have taken that timeout until like maybe you lose the first round of OT or something like that, or it goes to max OT, whatever. That's the time to use a tactical timeout and say to your team, okay, close it. We can do this. Let's reevaluate what we're going to do in the last, 1 or 2 rounds, whatever. But they're riding high. So this is giving Neo the opportunity to lay back again and be like, all right, guys, what's been going wrong? What can we do to salvage this game? I think they actually said, didn't ask, said, quote unquote, Optizzy is tinkling. So, I mean, if you gotta go, you gotta go. But that is just...
Dangerous.
Whether it be that they really need the timeout or whatever, I feel like it's just unfortunate timing. I don't know how this is gonna go now that Neo have a chance to rest.
Yeah, it could really change things up, but I mean, Didn't Ask have all the confidence. I mean, they are swinging and winning their ones, something that Neo did so well earlier tonight, and even on this first half of the map when they went to 6-2, when they took that dominant lead. I mean, they had all the confidence. They were just winning every single gunfight. They were swinging together. They were playing well. But, well, all of that is in the past now since the icing tactical timeout that Project Neo chose to implement themselves. We're not going to have to wait any longer. Tinkle completed. It is time to see
LFG.
how this one is going to finish out in overtime.
Neo do get defense first, though, and that
Okay.
is massive.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
It was what, a 4-2 split for the defense,
Mhm.
both halves? So Neo right now, they are in the advantage. Say what you will about their last attacking half. Now they're back on the defense, back where they're comfortable, and back in Garage, where JJ, his famous bathroom hold, has been, I mean, really something that dictated every single successful Garage defense that Project Neo had. They are going to adjust something slightly, though. They'll bring Mozzie, and they'll also take a Kaid. Now, Kaid is not an operator that we've seen yet, I don't think, throughout this entire map. And Neo now bringing him out, trying to shut down this Garage breach and just make it hell for Jandy to get that open with his ace. And as long as JJ can stick inside a bathroom, Didn't Ask might not be able to remove those Electro Claws as safely as they would like.
I hate to burst your bubble. I do think we did see the Kaid earlier on the Neo defense. It was a while ago because they've
you're
been on
right.
attack for
You're
so
right.
long.
And Rated was on Spiral and he got 2
Right.
kills. You're right. We did see
Yeah.
it before.
We did see it happen, but I mean, you got to question how effective will that be this time. Delta Force, he's on the Twitch again. This is the role he's found quite a bit of success on. Those successful attacking rounds were often marked by Delta Force fragging out in a big way, and the rather unsuccessful ones found themselves with Delta Force in the grave very early on. It's going to be this admin-sided take and the methodical map control approach. They haven't really pushed towards this CO side, but you still have X24 to deal with. He's going to be flirting around on the yellow stairs, and Envy is going to be the first player to challenge that. A brilliant C4. That is JJ cutting down Envy, and now his job for the rest of the round will be simply sit inside bathroom and quite literally tinkle the time away. Delta Force, though, he's going to cut down X24 and equalize the man count.
So, a 1-for-1, but you lose your Ash, and no!
Oh!
What? How?
What? What?
How did that happen?
Where
that
did
was
that
a
happen?
projector. I think
Oh no.
I think he shot him trying to make the rotate into Bosco.
Oh no.
Oh no, that's your ace. Not only is it a team kill, but it's your only hard breach. That's gotta be, I mean,
Oh no.
wow, mental chalked after that one. Holy. 3 versus, it could have been even man count. 3 versus 4 now. No hard breach. 50 seconds left, and you barely have any control. They've started to move down into archives now, but Optizzy drops right into the waiting arms of Adapt, who's playing on server. It will be refragged by Snoop. Now they know the gridlock might be pushing concrete. Here's a drop from JJ. Delta Force does get refragged, though. Now it's Snoop in a 1 versus 2. Rated and Spike are starting to close in. They know where he is. They can hear him sprinting because, of course, gridlock is very loud. Rated wisely backing off, not playing this too aggressive. Start to move back up the stairs, avoiding the track stingers. Spiker actually catches a bullet right there through the wall. They see Snoop rotate into security. He rotates back out, tries to take the fight onto yellow, sees Rated just for a second, but can't land the shot. He's just 25 HP, exposed to Spiker. He's got nowhere to go. 000 is on the clock. He gets 1 kill, but Spiker hides right behind Tuck. Smart play there by the Malusi after his teammate falls. Good play on Rated to press the issue and just waste more time from the gridlock. And Neo, though close, still survive and take the first round of OT.
All right. Well, Neo have finally stopped the overwhelming momentum that Didn't Ask have been bringing to the table. It was 4 unanswered rounds, but not the 5th. Project Neo finding defensive success early on in overtime. But now things switch around. They'll be going on to the attack, and they have to find some success here where they found so little of it on that second half. It was only the first 2 rounds of attack that they would find, but since then, Didn't Ask have found a perfect defensive performance. We're going to see tellers and archives. The split site is going to be the focus of this round, and I'm not sure if this is the best move. This is a dicey one that Project Neo have found quite a bit of at least success on, not necessarily round-wise, but in the overall scope of things. They've had quite a bit of traction on these rounds, only a couple of huge blunders on the side of really drone work from Project Neo have found them in early graves. If they can correct some of those blunders, if they can get that information flowing between the team, if they can get that flank watch on point, they could very well take this round here.
Yeah, like you said, it wasn't a win for Project Neo, but it was very close. Now, didn't ask, you can take that success and be like, all right, this is what we need to fix. This is what we need to close it out. They played with their C4s pretty well last time. The only reason why it got dicey is because of the distraction from Adapt allowed the plant to go down. They were luckily able to trade it out. They had good refrags. They played together in the 1v2, so it was still a good round from Didn't Ask. Now, Project Neo. If we remember last time, they started to falter when they misdroned this guy in console. Optizi is playing there once again, except instead of Oryx, he's Smoke.
No way!
Wow. All right. He just vaulted out console window and killed Zof. His team reinforced that wall so he can't get back in. I mean, it's an opening pick. Will he be traded? You see, he's very scared. Here comes the pick, and that's free. Adapt nearly loses his life from the bench window, but, I mean,
I don't know.
Smoke for Zof? I mean, Smoke isn't the biggest operator on this site, but that's still a pretty risky 1-for-1.
He did take out X24, who's been a big fragger, but Spiker is going to cut down Delta Force. A good shot there with the SMG-11, and despite being at 1 HP, the kill was indeed delivered. It's going to be a 4v3, but the amount of HP that Spiker has, it almost neutralizes the player entirely, but thankfully for him, he's got 2 frag grenades, so that means he doesn't have to get into any gunfights to actually make his presence felt. Jandy was just spotted by Rated on the drone, and Jandy is now flanking up. What is he doing there? He knew he got spotted, or at least I thought he did, but apparently not. He's gonna commit to the flank, and JJ, the follow-up onto NB, that's gonna leave Snoop alone with the map on the line. The long angle is there, and Adapt from above is gonna close it out. Project Neo will take it.
Wow. You know, that's a little bit a little bit anticlimactic with the way that ended, but Project Neo still a really good round. So Smoke gets a 1-for-1. It's kind of like, you know, okay. Spiker kills Delta Force trying to retake upstairs on Visa. Wow, 15 kills for Adapt in that as well. And then, like you said, that flanking player got spotted on a drone. So all Spiker had to do was sit behind the soda machine and aim at the doorway and kill him. Then you have JJ holding the hallway as there's a defender in Z for some reason, even though there's another defender all the way off site. At that point, the round was pretty much unwinnable, so congratulations, Project Neo. You will remain our only undefeated team after 2 days of quals. Neo definitely looking like a top contender going into the next season, if they qualify, that is, which, with the way they're performing, I would expect them to, although there is the JJ qualifier curse. They're not the qualifier team, so we'll see if they're able to make it happen in SCS. But that's it. We're done. That's the last game. Now,
well, I believe we are finishing up SFCL over on their channel. They've got Forsaken versus Team Burnt Turkey. They're in overtime, closing that one out. But for us here on the main stream, that is going to do it for the night. We are going to send it on over to our partner streams, and we'll be back tomorrow for some more open qualifier action. I have been Jay's Wills. Crow, it's been a pleasure casting with you for the first time, and
it was very fun. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yep. So long, everybody, and have a fantastic rest of your night.